Welcome to the Nameless Voices podcast. This is episode number 52. I need to do my taxes. I hate adulting. Fraud. My name is Nash.
We like tax fraud.
Fraud?
Don't we all?
My name is Nanashi. I'll be your host for the evening, and I apologize in advance for whatever the show's going to be. Joining me tonight is a menagerie of gaggle fucks and card floppers. Starting down the list alphabetically, he is the TCG slut, AI Ignister.
I went on a shopping spree on the Nintendo eShop.
That sounds like a hellscape and a minefield.
Yeah.
We have our original Yugi poop. God, I lost my train of thought on that one.
No, keep that in.
We have our original Yugi memer, Connor Lockhart.
There can only be one word to describe the events that have occurred in the previous week. Yeet.
What, they release another Lion King movie?
Hope not.
Probably. They're gonna probably release one.
Vivith knows.
Oh, God.
He's gone through a slight identity change. He is now Jose Orihalcum.
Or Calcum, but very close.
Sorry,
anyway, if my voice sounds a little crusty, it's because my previous microphone has died, so now I have to deal with the inbuilt laptop mic.
Honestly, it's not that bad. Yours is better than mine.
You're coming in more clearly, though, Nyashi.
We've got our chaotic element, Chaos.
I live.
Yes, much to the chagrin of all of us. We have our temporary Aerosmith Lone.
Yes, I was too lazy to change forms, so I'll be a Neophia this part.
That's fine, but hey, I get to call you an Aerosmith. I don't get many opportunities to do that.
That's fine.
You actually understand the joke behind that, right?
I think.
Dude looks like a lady.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's fine.
We have our dedicated salad player, Phoenix Reborn.
Now with 20% more dragons. And probably fish.
Fishy. We have our...
I'm working on sharks.
So am I. We have our silent but deadly partner, Rom. Oh, God. Please tell me you did not get my...
R0M said hello, featuring Nanashi's IRS agent watching us.
He's typing it out, and the IRS agent is watching Nanashi.
Basically like the one episode Batman
R0M said no worries, I'm no rat.
The IRS.
Oh, okay.
He's not a rat.
Well, what kind? Well, you gotta be very specific, because you have the bad rats, and then you have Ratatouille.
Ratabatty. He's our living shitpost, Raven.
With a title like that, I'm never going to escape the Rata clone allegations, am I?
No differently than how Yosh will never escape being called Smashmaster Yosh.
Though, I do question what kind of fucking test tube I came out of, because I have Moist Critical's voice and Rata's humor.
He's a fusion between the two.
You're an end result of the holy hand grenade.
Oh, God, what is my purpose? To shitpost.
You passed butter.
Oh my God!
Did Rick make you?
Would you be surprised if he did?
No.
You've seen my brand of humor. It's not surprising.
That's no worse than mine.
Totally bad.
He's every Yu-Gi-Oh player's worst nightmare by name. It's Tim Brick. Oh, he's here in spirit. That's fair.
Yeah.
God, he bricked so hard he couldn't make it to the microphone.
And we have our favorite Ram Gobbler, Zivith.
If my voice is rusty today, that's because I had a cold this week.
Oh, I know the feeling. Like, I was completely destroyed by the cold a few weeks ago. Like,
Yeah, and for the
One
first
day I
time
couldn't
ever,
even
I got
understand.
sent home by a teacher after some students of the class complained why I was sitting there being ill. Well, it was just my nose being running and my voice being gone, and nothing else.
I hate when that happens.
always fun.
Just get some Rusties, it'll be fine.
Rusty's nuts.
Ha!
Hilarious and original.
To be fair, I made a D's Nuts joke about 3 podcasts ago, and you guys hate me for it still, I'm sure.
It's fine.
Yeah. All right.
I
so-
also know a Rusty from Pokemon Rusty. If anyone still knows the cartoon.
I do.
I completely forgot to bring up my notes for what we are going to be talking about today. I am clearly in good sorts.
I know what I want to talk about today.
Good job.
I'm sure you do, but I've got a list of stuff.
Nanashi, do you need Phineas to help you with organizing? He seems to always know what to do today.
Ha!
Well, when in doubt, go to the frickin' topic discussion.
Hardy
So-
har har, I see
So
what
what
you
we're gonna
did
start
there.
with? Are we just
I mean, it's an obvious joke. Get
Yeah,
help
well.
from the kids who could build a nuclear bomb stronger than North Korea.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get the
So
ball
basically,
rolling.
ask Sheldon.
Let's get the ball rolling on this one. How is everyone doing today? Fine, I hope.
I'm doing fine.
Yeah, I've been...
Roll a d20.
Ah.
Oh, hold on. Let me open up a roll d20.
18.
Fine.
The first result was the first result was 5, I think, and I got a 9.
You asked me to roll a d20.
Okay, so we've hit the shit tier.
You asked me. Here's the weird part. You asked me to roll a d20. I landed on tails.
What kind of probability voodoo?
Don't worry about it.
How do you mess up your roll so badly that you roll tails?
It's because a time traveler sneezed on a rat.
Did you meet Will Wheaton and accidentally touch him? So now you're stuck with the Will
The rolls
Wheaton
on Friday are
iceberg?
quirky.
I had a joke. I don't want to tell it because I might actually get banned off Twitch for this one.
Oh my god.
Good.
Say it after the cast then.
I will do that.
Yeah. Once
All right,
the-
so
It's the power of his stand. Bullshit. He
I'm
alters
sorry, but
any
the
probability.
was 5.
that's fine. Honestly, we could probably roll fate dice and we get a better result at this point. Ziv knows what I'm talking about.
Probably.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, this-
so
These past couple of months for me has been interesting, more fun than anything, because as I mentioned earlier, had the cold, which completely kicked my butt for like a week, for like the weekend. But of course, I was away in the last podcast because I was actually out watching the Lion King musical.
oh, I bet it was better than any movie you'd ever seen of The Lion King released in the last 3 years.
Shut up.
And before this year, they announced a live-action remake of The Lion King 2.
I swear to God,
no,
if they
brother.
freaking do,
Well,
I am going
fellas,
to
what would
frickin'
live-action
ban you
Kofu
from this
look like?
I don't know.
Live action what? Tofu?
they better
Oh,
not
no,
touch Lion King 1.5.
Kovu, the other guy.
Yeah, the edgy
The
lion.
The
Yeah, I was
edgy
about
guy
to, I was
that-
about to, I was
edgy
about to
guy that
call him the
everyone on-
emo lion.
You
yeah,
wouldn't be wrong.
The edgy guy that all of DeviantArt simps for, I guess.
I never heard of him.
Pick a number. All right.
5.
All right, so let's get the ball rolling on this actual showtime. I think we shitpost enough. First things first, though, I do need to remind everyone that this stream and my channel are sponsored by Bear Claw's Realms of Fantasy, a 52-page coloring book, hand-drawn artwork, and it's available for sale on Amazon for $20. All right, so
My man children, I know you love to color in them.
to be
Put
fair, the
in
artwork's
code
actually pretty damn
Nanashi
good.
for 10% off.
Yeah, right. Like I'd be lucky enough for a discount code.
You get 1 penny off. That's it. That's as low as it's gonna get.
Wonderful. You just brought it down to Walmart prices. Instead of $20, it's $19.99.
Yeah.
Oh no, 1998.
Oh god. They sell
I mean,
booster packs for
hold on.
$3.97 for the longest time, and that bugged the
All
crap out
that
of me.
for
Here's
here's
actually something Yugi related.
Well, save that for when we get to the Yu-Gi-Oh part, because right now we got other stuff we got to get through first. I got a small list of topics we got to get out of the way.
Real quick though, I will say that like I did my second.
You want to repeat that? You were cutting in and out.
Oh, I said I messed up my audio for a second.
Oh, well, that was reflected.
Yeah.
All right, so first off, I want to remind everybody that next week is Valentine's Day, so Smoke him if you got him.
Oh, Singles Awareness Day, you mean?
Sure, why
Yeah.
not? Busiest day in the world for every
Have a
prostitute
great
on the
time next
planet.
week.
And for everyone who has a partner who likes Yu-Gi-Oh, get them the blue-eye structure deck, cause why not?
Oh yeah, that drops on Valentine's Day. I forgot about that. I mentioned that last week. They delayed it specifically because of that, I think.
Fellas, don't you know the best gift that you can give to your partner, gay or straight, is Kaiba cosplay?
Yeah, especially when Kaibajin can just gift
No.
himself.
But see,
Yeah.
see, the only way that they could know is they have to know that they're a fourth-rate duelist with a third-rate deck.
I think it's the other way around, but you're not wrong.
Fucking hell, I was gonna make that joke.
Yeah, third rate duelist, fourth rate deck. Great job.
All right, so let's go ahead and get some of these topics out of the way. First things first, we all know about the rise of AI and all that bullshit that's coming from it, but we did get one little bit of good news. Apparently, the Patent Office has declared that generative AI art and text generated by prompts cannot be copyright protected.
Hold this L. Hold this L with
Now,
pride.
for the people who don't know enough
No, Ori, it's not just one
They
L.
decided
It's
that.
two.
Okay.
They decided that only now.
Well, yes, because, you have to have a person who causes a problem before a solution comes forth. So,
No, but I thought they already made a decision on it. Forgive me.
that's fine. For those who don't understand why this is relevant, see, AI is computer language, and just like several decades ago when people tried to ban Linux and other programming languages like it, and yes, I'm not kidding, they declared that computer programming as a language is protected under free speech, and that means that is going to be continued and held in the same regard for the foreseeable future, which is a good thing. And that's fantastic news.
Indeed.
Next up, let's cover, let's see. Oh yeah, PayPal is going to be making some small changes to their business accounts. Starting on February 1st, your PayPal address will actually be shown on all future transactions.
Gary.
Okay.
So if you want to undo that, though, all you have to do is on the main page of PayPal, go to the home page, go to invoicing, go to review business info, use account settings info, and hide from recipients.
Good thing I don't use it for a frickin' business.
I have it set up under a business name because I don't want people to know my real name. It's actually listed under Riolu Room.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Let's shift into some gaming news. That'd probably lighten our moods. Who saw the first look at the Switch 2?
I saw what
Me.
it looks like.
It's interesting.
Yeah, but I gotta say, I'm not impressed. It doesn't look that different from the original Switch.
I mean, like they say, don't fix what isn't broken.
Then don't replace it either.
It's
Well,
just
at the same time, it needed like a few adjustments, and we have yet till the Nintendo Direct, so I'm like, so I'm like 50-50 on it. Don't have a full opinion yet.
Who wants to
I'm
pay
not
$300
impressed. In
for the
fact,
next
I'm
Pokemon
concerned
game?
that because they're making it Switch 2,
Lone, it's literally no different than people paying for another PlayStation or an Xbox with some slight adjustments.
All right, hang on, guys. Hang on. Chaos, you were saying something?
This worries me specifically because they're already working on crappy hardware that's maybe cheaper than the standard like new console, PlayStation or Xbox, but combined with the fact that their most recent games and not necessarily Super Mario and Zelda that have gotten better, but all of the other games around it, including Pokemon, have gotten crap. I'm concerned because they're only just giving a slight upgrade, plus like possibly just slightly better games. So if it gets released and then ZA is Switch 2 only, I'm absolutely not continuing with Nintendo. They need to be held accountable for the quality of their product and the quality of their consoles.
Got that right.
DS, Wii, 3DS, and the Wii U were all perfectly fine, but then the Switch rolls in and it's extremely fragile
To the point that just general use can make it like perfect.
Yeah, as Ron pointed out, the only thing that's really been deteriorating is Game Freak, aka Pokemon.
That's fair, I guess. But speaking of companies that are having difficulties, did you guys hear that BioWare is down to 100 members?
I think I've heard about that.
Well, gee, almost like when you butcher a long-awaited sequel to a cult classic game series, you tend to lose a lot of respect from your employees and other members.
I'm sorry, what did they make again?
Oh, they worked on Dragon Age, they worked on Mass Effect, they worked on a lot of stuff in EA's branch.
Yeah.
Sorry, I literally my only MMO is Wizard 101.
It's fair. But
I played Lost Ark for a bit, but I literally could not continue with it. It's way too fucking large.
Also, every time Mass Effect gets brought up, I always remember the video of the game journalist who complained about the game being too hard, yet tried to play for the first couple of missions with level 1 equipment, because Mass Effect 1 is an RPG, my guy.
Yeah.
My brother, what is wrong with you?
Speaking of games specifically, we did get a few announcements that there's going to be a few games later this year that are getting shut down. MultiVersus is shutting down development, Paladins is shutting down development, and the Battle Spirits Saga TCG is being discontinued.
Ooh.
And Smite.
I would like to comment on MultiVersus specifically that the thing is even though it's dying, the trailer for the last season actually looks extremely good. And Hungrybox also commented on it that it looks just like the game that was like initial. You know how, I don't know if anyone really knows here, but in the beta, the game was a lot faster with a lot more fluid movement, and then the live came out and it felt like garbage. Plus the monetization, but that's like goes without saying.
Yeah.
I wanted to also point out too that I'm not surprised about MultiVersus because of the later news that come out. Some of the behind the scenes stuff got leaked, and well, they had a plethora of characters already ready and completed, and it was a long list of characters people have been asking for ages now. But the funniest thing, right? The reason why they didn't put all these characters out when it would have been beneficial to them is because the main head director was a greedy bastard who only released characters if there was an upcoming sequel or something to the franchise, which is why we got Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice 2, let's promote it and, ride that train by adding him to MultiVersus.
And meanwhile, Beetlejuice was the fucking awful, if I recall correctly.
Beetlejuice 2 was a meh.
Alright.
From what I've heard, it's like in between from like meh to just bad. I never hear anybody say that it's good.
The thing is that the game that is currently coming out, if it is good enough, it might actually spark people's interest in the game, because with people in general in the Smash community, not just Melee, but like in general, unhappy with how they've been treated. If MultiVersus pulls a couple of good cards, they could succeed and come back.
I mean, given Warner Brothers' track record, though, I don't see it.
Especially when it says that it wants to do more collaborations with other games. That, after shutting down MultiVersus, that is just next level stupid.
I would like to say something.
Go ahead.
With any success that MultiVersus had, even if it decided to leave the beta phase, it's going to be fleeting. Because people weren't going into the game because it was the next coming of Smash Brothers or anything. No, people were flocking to the game because they saw Superman and Bugs Bunny and the haha funny Ultra Instinct Shaggy meme for 1 week. And then the player count kept dropping because, well, you're not gonna get a hardcore gamer audience if your main selling point is that you can play as Superman. And to be fair, well, if you're playing as Superman and you have to beat up Iron Giant, I mean, to be fair, Super Smash, And I know the obvious counter-argument is Super Smash Bros. But Super Smash Bros. is built as simultaneously a platform fighter and a massive crossover. MultiVersus was built as a crossover first, platform fighter distantly second. It's got unique mechanics, but the general fighting of it is kind of slow and floaty, and badly balanced.
Well, the thing is that it wasn't slow and floaty in the beta, or alpha, whatever it was called initially, because the first initial release before it was taken down in order to be fully released was significantly faster with better movement.
All right, let's go ahead.
I will say, last point, I swear.
Okay.
Even though you have the obvious point is Smash Bros. As a counter argument, and I would like to say Pikachu versus Sephiroth is a lot more outlandish than Superman versus Iron Giant. Just saying.
Fair enough. All right, let's go ahead and
And then before that, we'd get Sephiroth and Winnie the Pooh in the same game. Anyway, continue.
Fair enough. His final attack is just throwing a jar of honey at your head and cracking your skull.
Oh my god.
Which would work. All right, so let's take a minute and make fun of the internet, shall we? Who heard about the first CyberTruck being withdrawn from Great Britain's open roads?
Body.
Yep.
Is this surprising?
Not really.
Very rare British W. Very rare British W.
It wasn't
Oh yes, the self-driving.
They drive in the wrong side of the street, I believe.
Well, yeah, it was made in America. What did you expect?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even bother accounting for that.
Drive on the right side of the street.
It's a self-driving car that does not know how to self-drive. Congrats, Elon.
And has a self-destruct button.
Then let's also
common Elon L.
Then let's also draw attention to the fact that Twitter is now barely breaking even, and new membership has stagnated. No does shit for brains.
Oh dear gosh.
Twitter is utterly in shambles and dies soon.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Well, this is the owner of the site. What do you all expect?
Yup.
Now, this Cybertruck
That's
thing,
for Katana.
bar none, Elon Musk's worst thing he's done this month. He hasn't done anything as bad or worse.
Yeah.
Nope, none whatsoever.
Certainly not.
Insert
that we can
flower
discuss
here.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely nothing. We did not see anything. There you go. You did not see anything. I did not see anything. Can we all agree
I
to that?
have no idea what the context is here.
Congratulations.
Please, someone please DM me. I need to know.
That's fine. Raven, you take care of that.
Yeah, you're in for a ride after the podcast.
Yeah.
I'll DM you.
Yeah, just DM him. All right, so let's continue on with making fun of the internet. So apparently Google is deciding to try and punish AdBlocker users, with hours of YouTube ads. And the reason this is funny is because that we all responded by continuing to use AdBlockers.
Yeah, and besides that, it's against EU regularies, who they already said YouTube is not allowed to spy computers if they use AdBlocker. Now they do it.
Yep. But on the positive side of YouTube, I'm sure we're all familiar with the man known as DevilArtemis.
Yeah.
Yes.
He finally hit 1 million subs, and he had a special celebration episode where he did a full 10-minute recording with Takahata 101. Perfect cell versus perfect cell. It was so hilarious.
I have yet to see it, honestly.
It's so good. It's so good. You need to take a look at it when the show's over. And thank you for being quick as lightning on that one, Rom. So
I need to see that again, because I like this man. He is funny.
Now, on the same note, though, you guys are familiar with the YouTube channel Flashkits, right?
No.
They made a spin-off of Warhammer called Space Kings. And basically, there was an unnamed, unknown, unlisted company that wanted to buy the property rights for Space Kings off of them. Not only did they say no, but for a short time, anybody who bought their newest merch automatically sent this potential buyer a GIF of them receiving a hate mace enema with no lube.
Yeah, what?
That is how badly they wanted to say no.
It's flesh kits. I'm not surprised.
Yes.
Without the lube, that's the worst part.
Wait, why did you burn it?
They actually said that in the video, and once again, Rom, thank you for the speed of lightning response on this. I am so proud to be a YouTuber purely because I am grateful that people like this exist.
I mean, honestly, we need more people like that. I don't know what you mean.
We do. We really do. But there aren't enough. That's the point. Let's see.
Yeah.
Now, we all remember RoosterTeeth shutting down, but apparently it's now under new management.
What is it?
And they got their old logo back.
Clearly didn't
Watch
hear
them
the bell.
become Teen Titans Go, but on YouTube.
Well, honestly, given that this person is related to Red vs. Blue, I'd be fine with that because the person who ended up getting partial ownership of it was Bernie Burns, the voice actor for Church from Red vs. Blue.
Oh. Very nice.
RoosterTeeth, the cockbite company, is now run by Church.
As long as they run it like an hour
I have several questions.
Shoot.
So now a holy company is now taking over RoosterTeeth. What does that mean for Ruby?
We don't know yet. They picked up a bunch of the properties that RoosterTeeth used to have, so we're gonna find out what comes of that in the coming months. Oh, and apparently Viz Media has apparently Viz Media actually has Ruby now.
Yeah, bro, the GIF, hold on, that GIF Rom just said, I love that moment so much.
I know. I need to rewatch that series. I've got it all downloaded on Gilded. I might watch it while I'm at work.
Yeah, I recall Ruby's being refresh my memory. Is Viz Media owned by Warner Brothers? Because I remember a weird crossover series they had with Ruby.
Oh yeah, the Superman and
it was like Ruby X Justice League, and it was like, who asked for this?
No one. Oh,
that shit still makes me scratch my head.
Yeah, tell me about it. Oh yeah, Rooster Teeth was under Warner Brothers, but I guess they're not anymore. All right, so one last bit of news, and this one kind of affects me more than anyone else, although I'm sure some of you will feel the same. The Japanese band known as the Pillows has disbanded after 35 years.
Oof.
For those of you who don't know, the Pillows was responsible for the entire soundtrack of the anime Fooly Cooly.
Oh.
Yeah, Little Busters was all them.
Wait, hold on, I'm sorry. What?
You know Fooly Cooly?
I would know them, so...
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's a punch to the childhood.
Well, looking into the discographies of Japanese musicians can be a wild ride.
Oh yeah.
Did you know that the singer of the main themes for One Punch Man, the Japanese adaptation of the 2011 in Transformers cartoon, and Dragon Ball Z were all the same guy?
Yes, and here's something else that might blow your mind. My favorite anime of all time, Air Gear, their opening song was done by a band called Back On, who was responsible for probably half the songs in the Kamen Rider Gotchard series.
Oh yeah, that much I know.
So yeah, I am very happy. Back On is one of my favorite bands of all time. But
they also did the Build Fighters series.
Mm-hmm. And they did Ice Shield 21 music and a few others.
Okay, so on the topic of like musicians and such, one that can't escape me for the life of me is Masaki Endo.
Oh yeah.
Everywhere I go, I just hear like his voice in like whatever song that's playing, whether it be from like Yu-Gi-Oh's Clear Mind or Boom Boonger's opening theme.
Oh yeah, Masaki Endo is great.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's a bad singer. I'm just saying that like I'm seeing him everywhere.
Oh yeah. Jam Project, Masaki Endo. A lot of people like that are out there.
Yeah, was it better than what Raven is going through? True. That is true.
Don't fucking remind me.
All right.
It will probably be a joke that will creep its way when I get started on Parappa the Rapper, like in 2 more days.
All right, well, I think it's time we finally start moving into more specific topics. First up, let's give Zivit the chance to get us caught up on what's been going on with wrestling for the last month.
Some very exciting things happened. After the Netflix premiere, where the biggest match was Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa, the aftermath of this was 2 weeks later, Solo Sikoa showed up at Friday Night SmackDown and wanted to explain himself why he lost to Roman Reigns and that he wouldn't accept it. That was the original plan. But he was so loud booed out that he, on his own, just left the ring and left the stadium. Like he walked up the stairs between the crowd, and then Jacob Fatu picked up the microphone on his own also, which was also planned, and said that whatever it will be, Solo will win and will still be my tribal chief, or so what he said, like it doesn't matter if Solo wins or loses, we are still the bloodline or something like that. Like this wasn't planned as well, and they got some trouble with Triple H, but altogether he liked what they made out of it, and Jacob Fatu later had then on the same evening another promo which was now planned, and he executed this very well, that he got a lot of praise, and at this point he's very over. Even that people chant with him, I love you, Solo, and chant Fatu and all that stuff. Like he's really over the top, which no one expected. Not even from the WWE officials. There you can see what a great superstar he really is. And honestly, I like him too. Like, have you ever seen a powerhouse move like a high flyer in the ring?
No.
Yes, his name is Keith Lee.
Yeah, true, but Jacob Fatu is something special. And he has perfect mic work.
I'll be back in a minute.
And then Jacob Fatu got his first single match in WWE, which was Saturday Night's main event versus Braun Strowman, the SOB, where the match was really heated and Strowman was actually dominating it, but at one point he lost control over it, and Jacob Fatu's goal wasn't to win the match, it was just his goal to destroy Strowman, which he did. At the end of the match, I don't want to tell any details here because this is a PG-13 podcast. He left Strowman in his own blood puddle at the end. Like he destroyed him really bad.
Yeah, he really did.
And walked out after this. And the only reason Jacob Fatu stopped destroying Strowman was because of Tama Tonga stopping him and calming him down, or he would have continued. Without further ado, I come to the Royal Rumble, which also starts the road to WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. This is, by the way, the first ever wrestling event that is held in Las Vegas from WWE. AEW already had pay-per-views there. Like, let's start with the Women Royal Rumble. Trish Stratus, Charlotte Flair, and Nikki Bella made their return there. But someone else did, and this was a surprise because no one expected it, and everyone thought, yeah, the plans for a new contract failed, the talks, they going too much in different directions what they want, and this person was Alexa Bliss. She actually returned because she signed a new contract the same evening.
Yeah, it was nice to see her return to the ring after all the contract messing that happened all around her.
Yeah, especially after her injury, after Bray Wyatt's death, we all had to endure, and after 2 years she can focus on wrestling again. And the original plan to bring her together with the Wild 6 still exists.
Funny, what's even more surprising about her return, she brought Lily with her.
Yes, I was so happy about this, that she keeps her gimmick.
That's always awesome.
But what would have been actually better if she came out with the Firefly Funhouse song. But I can understand WWE why they don't want to bring that song up ever again. Because it would be like stomping on Bray's grave.
Yeah.
It was his thing, and it should be remembered like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, and the Royal Rumble won Charlotte Flair. What a surprise! She comes back and directly is allowed to win everything again. And have you guys seen how awful she looks? She looks more like a horror figure at this point.
Okay,
For how many?
I caught up to the Royal Rumble the day after it was on Netflix, and I will say, I do think Charlotte's win here isn't as egregious as her Royal Rumble win in 2020. That is, if she doesn't end up winning the title at Mania. Yeah, because again, the last time he won the Royal Rumble, she won the title at WrestleMania because she's Charlotte Flair, so we gotta give her everything.
Yes, and only because of her name.
Do not get me wrong. I'm not a fan of Charlotte is always in the main event picture scene because of her name, which it's not just that, because she is a legitimately great wrestler, and I'm going to skip forward a bit. Her promo on the Raw after, she noticed that people were booing her as she was trying to do a face promo, so she masterfully changed it into a heel promo, and that's where she is best. But I can also see where some of the complaints come from.
Also, she divorced with Andrade, which is not a surprise because this woman must be most likely hard like her father. Like father, like daughter, as you say.
And as for the surgeries thing,
let's see what she has more at her career end. Titles, husbands, or surgeries. And if she goes as long as her father now, then that can be a lot.
With the surgeries, I'm also kind of touchy to criticize because that could be the result of the very, very unforgiving beauty standards that America has with its women. And that age is somehow seen as this spooky, scary monster thing, so we have to get surgeries to stay away from it as much as possible. Even if it does end up making us look like monsters.
Yeah, but I'm honest here and say Tiffany Stratton's push and title run is most likely over now. Thanks to Charlotte
Honestly, when
Flair.
it comes to the age thing, it's probably a keeping up with the Robinsons type mentality.
But again, I watched that on Raw, and it started, and it's seeming like it's less going to be her taking the title from Stratton, and more like Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley 3.
Nah, I don't
They both
believe
have a win
that
on
happens.
each other, and Rhea still has that run back from the last time Charlotte won a Royal Rumble. So I'm hopeful that that's the result and not, okay, Tiffany, your title run is going to be over because Charlotte's back. We cool?
I mean, that's what will happen. But, like, let's be serious. Rhea Ripley won't lose her title soon. She just won it back, and she's over as hell.
To be fair, I didn't say that Charlotte would take the title from Rhea.
Nah, Rhea Ripley doesn't get screwed for the second time now. Next was the tag team match 2 out of 3 falls like old school British style. DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns.
Honestly, match of the night for me.
Nah, the match of the night is the next one I gonna tell, but first the tag team match. It was a heated one where DIY dominated at the beginning, but MCGM somehow got the first pin. Nee, wrong. DIY got the first pin after dominating, and then Motor City Machine Guns got, thanks to her tag team finisher, the second pin. But then it got controversial. It looked like a lot that Motor City Machine Guns would really win, but then a hooded figure came out of the crowd and distracted the ring referee. During another hooded figure entered the ring from the other side and finished off MCGM out of the eye of the referee and put them back into the ring, where DIY put their tag team finisher and finished the match. And the hooded figures were the Street Profits. But after the match they also attacked DIY, which seems they are out for revenge, and they want the titles win from DIY. Since DIY sent them into the hospital. But now let's come to my personal match of the night, which is the ladder match Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the WWE Undisputed Championship and the Winged Eagle Belts title.
Yeah, like Kevin got real tore. From what I saw, Kevin got real tore up in that.
like it's either a great sell or Kevin is dead.
Like the match had a feeling of they want to murder each other instead of winning the titles. Owens was so full of revenge and hatred that his goal was just to punish Cody where he could instead of hanging down the titles. Which after 50 minutes the match got really heated up, where Cody Rhodes started and broke down a metal strap from one of the ladders where you step with your shoes to get up, and punched with it on Kevin Owens' back several times before Owens got it out of his head and used it himself to try and strangle Cody with that. After that, a lot of ladders flew. Then Owens brought also out a tiny ladder for gnomes like Hornswoggle. Very funny. They punched with each other with, and then we got at the scene where Kevin Owens were climbing up to the top rope and wanted to jump on Cody Rhodes, but Cody Rhodes tried to stop him when he got fastly up from the ladder and jumped it on Owens. Wanted to do the same with Owens, but somehow Owens reversed it and did a twisted Frankensteiner on the ladder, and it looked like, and the impact was so hard that it looked like that Cody broke his back for how hard he landed. Like he first landed on the ladder and then like a pencil stood in the air for a second and then fell down. Well, so bad was the impact. And Owens was himself laying there holding his neck. And many officials came out and doctors and wanted to stop the match, but both denied and stood somehow back up. And that was the moment where Cody Rhodes snapped and became Homelander. Like he got so angry that he somehow got the energy, stood up, gave Kevin Owens the crossroad, but wasn't done yet. Kevin Owens was throwing himself out of the ring. Cody Rhodes, instead of going up the ladder, he followed him, punched it on him while shouting, "You want it, you get it now." Then both of them went on the commentary table, punched each other, and that is when it now gets real dramatic and where the shocking incident happened.
Welcome back, Tim.
Kevin Owens wanted to give Cody Rhodes a package pile driver on the ladder, but Cody Rhodes was so angry that he had the energy to revert it into a power bomb into the ladder. Kevin Owens did land on that ladder, neck first, and the ladder broke, burying Owens under the ladder. And he was laying there in that position for 10 minutes straight while Cody Rhodes slowly walked up the ladder and hang down the titles and won. And after that, while Owens got traded, his face full of blood, even Sami Zayn was there, and trying to talk into Owens if he's okay and everything. And then what Cody Rhodes did was provocating. He instead of leaving the arena after his win, going backstage, no, he turned it backwards and went up to Owens while it looked like he wanted him to hurt even more. No, he jumped on the commentary pult and held his title up in the air in front of Owens like in a mocking way. And also on his way out, while he was clapping up with children, he had the Homelander smile. Like it was 1-to-1 the Homelander smile. Like, I mean, it was just a question of time when Cody Rhodes will snap and get his Homelander arc. Like, for how paranoid he got and everything. And then we come to the Men's Royal Rumble match, which was packed with superstars, and also iShow Speed was for a few seconds in, where we don't talk about, except the funny thing where he got broken in half by Bron Breaker's spear. That was the only funny thing why he was there. But no, please keep this dude out of the ring. We don't need a second tourist like Logan Paul.
Wait, I'm back. Sorry, what did I miss?
We're still talking wrestling. By the way, Ignister, I think there's something up with your mic. We're picking up a lot of background noise.
Yeah.
We're picking up a lot of background noise. Everything okay, man?
Oh yeah, I was just having a short conversation with my.
That's fine then. Just making sure everything's okay. Please continue, Zev.
Yeah, and like, as I said, we had many superstars, and then at one point we had coming out Drew McIntyre, John Cena, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins one after another. And then the next entrant after it was Dominic Mysterio. Like, you got 3 amazing legends back to back into the Rumble, and then this Fraud enters the ring. Like, this was the perfect Royal move from Triple H. Like, everyone was expected, oh my god, how better it could be. No, it's Dominic Mysterio now. And then we got, and the number 30 was Logan Paul. Like, if iShow Speed wasn't enough, Logan Paul was also in the Rumble. And he was even allowed to be in the final 3. But
after eliminating CM Punk.
But before I come to that, yes, he eliminated CM Punk after Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins got eliminated back to back. But then, before I come to the final 3 and the end of the match, there was something happening outside of the ring which involved the same 3. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk. Seth Rollins snapped and gave Roman Reigns, while he was laying on the floor, a stomp. And Paul Heyman in the background was shouting and panicking, like he was shouting, you bastard, you could have killed him with that. And then Seth Rollins walked over to Paul Heyman, which was very afraid, since he got PTSD of the new bloodline destroying him that one SmackDown episode. But then he turned around and gave Roman Reigns another stomp on the stairs, on the ring stairs. And then when he wanted to leave, CM Punk jumped on him, and the both of them clashed again. And it was all chaos. And now, after that, we going back to the Rumble match. Oh yeah, what I I almost forgot to mention, Joe Hendry was part of the Rumble. Say his name and he will appear. But now to the final three, which was Logan Paul, Jey Uso and John Cena. Where Cena turned the time back for a moment and utterly clapped Logan Paul and kicking him out of the ring together with Jey Uso in a teamwork. And after that, they were the final two now, Jey Uso and John Cena. And honestly, I thought they let John Cena win his last Rumble because I thought it would have been perfect and for Cena to end his Rumble career like that, since he already had 2 wins, and the third win would have put him on a level with Stone Cold Steve Austin, which he deserved, if you ask me. But no, and big upset happened, and with nobody counted on, a big surprise. Jey Uso was allowed to eliminate John Cena and won the Royal Rumble and goes to the main event of WrestleMania.
Yeah, that was shocking.
Like, don't get me wrong. He's an amazing guy, and he's over as hell maybe, but he's not a main event material. And like now he wants to challenge Gunther again when he just lost 1 week before against Gunther, which is a joke. Like, you can't pair this guy a third time up and then even let him win against Gunther. Nobody will believe that. Like, the only option for him can be maybe to go against Cody Rhodes if he really turns full heel now and becomes Homelander 100%, like he already snapped against Kevin Owens. But before I come to an end, because I talked too long already, which I'm sorry for, Nanashi, the Raw after the Rumble, where I only talk about what happened after the main event of the Raw, because the rest you can watch yourself if you want. Where CM Punk and Sami Zayn had a qualification match for the Chamber. By the way, John Cena will be part of the Chamber match, so put your bets on who already will win this. Where CM Punk won against Sami Zayn after a heated 25-minute match, which is unusual for a weekly that we have such a long and good 5-star match. And they both respected each other at the end, all was good. But then, after Punk left the ring, Kevin Owens came from behind and first punched Sami Zayn to the ground, and after that he tried to pick Sami Zayn, stumbled a bit because of all his injuries, like he even has shown the blue eye, like the eye is super thick, he has scars everywhere. He looks really still finished from the match, and where I come to the point, like, it's bad injury selling what WWE does lately, because let's be real, he got buried neck first into the ladder and already can't stand 1 night later. Like, it's unrealistic. I understand wrestling is just acting, it is not real. But it would have been more realistic if he stayed in the hospital for a while. And then he gave Sami Zayn the package pile driver. Yeah, that was the wrestling segment. And I give back to Nanashi since I'm overdoing it already.
That's fine, man. I appreciate that. I didn't expect there to be a 30-minute wrestling segment, but everybody was getting involved in it. It's understandable. I'll try to do some editing to trim that down, especially since we're already at 1 hour. So let's go ahead and move into the next topic list. Let's see. Next up would be the Lorcana segment with Raven. What do you got for us?
So mine should be rather quick because we got all that's really on the agenda is an update on what some new products will look like. Funnily enough, a new card type and ability, as well as, well, something innovative. Actually, we'll go over that for. Well, Rom already posted the picture of what the latest trove is going to look like for the new, for set 7, as it's going to be called. But that aside, that already covered. Lorcana, as shown on the official Lorcana Snapchat, of course, because that's where they're like leaking a lot of this stuff. We got what is essentially we got dual typing basically.
Like Pokemon?
Dual color rather, like it's magic. But basically, what was revealed so far, dual color wise, it is some stuff for the 2 new starter decks that are going to be featured with this set. Well, tied to this set, really. We got a Beast and a Bell for red and blue, or ruby and sapphire. And we got Jafar and Iago, Amethyst Steel. And this is where you notice that we got a new character type, aka classification, and a new ability type to work with, which is going to be pretty interesting to see unfold. So, the new type that, as shown so far, is definitely going to work with the new Jafar stuff coming up is called the Illusion type. Basically,
Yu-Gi-Oh! Flashbacks.
As if Illusion wasn't already a type in general. It's the most unoriginal type ever, but hey, it works here because it's Jafar's shtick, lore-wise.
It makes more sense.
So Illusion, from what we see so far, are going to be big beaters that share the new ability attribute of Vanish. That says when an opponent chooses this card for a card effect via an action card, banish them. And on paper, this is like, this is like, okay, it's a whatever burger. You got a big Oonga Boonga monster that dies to one action being used on them, and it's like, well, 1, this can cause a lot of actions to fizzle out, and 2, the new Jafar reads, during a turn when you lose when an illusion is banished, you may return that card to your hand. Basically what's happening in She's GIF right now.
I know what this is. This is Skull Warriors from Buddy Fight.
Oh boy.
Like it plays under a similar logic, where we have a bunch of big stuff, but the cost is they go away if they're touched.
But that all aside, because I'm sure there's going to be more illusion cards and more Jafar stuff. I mean, after all, we are guaranteed a new sort of raid boss format style deck as well. One of the dual colors has confirmed another theme that we will be getting added to the game. Lady and the Tramp has been hinted at, and Rom just posted it at the same time I did. So, Lady and the Tramp, it's gonna, from what I'm gathering, the theme is gonna be yellow-green, aka amber-emerald, and from this one card alone, it has a lot of synergy with the 101 Dalmatians, which will be pretty nice. But now, whereas we get into the more, as we enter the business side of things and the new implements, now, not everything here in the TCG community can be sunshine and rainbows. We know this from experience. Let me tell you all about the recent drama that happened at the first Disney Lorcana Challenge event in Oceania, Australia. Because, oh boy, we got some cheating going on. And it's gotta be the funniest thing. So, but before I go over the story, there are 4 cards I need to showcase that will provide a bunch of context to what will be listed. I will post those 4 in, grouped up here, because it gets funny. The 4 cards that are relevant to the story are Develop Your Brain, Maui Half Shark, Magic Broom, a Luminary Keeper, and Merlin Goat. No, these are not just random cards for my bulk, they will be relevant literally now. So, Oceania's first ever Disney Lorcana Challenge, or DLC for short, was held in Melbourne, Australia this past weekend. And an incredible showcase was going to be happening for both new and established players. However, though, the biggest story of the weekend was not about a player known as Din Kang Fam. I probably butchered that name, but whatever. Who was a fan favorite. People are excited. It should be he's going to be going to the finals. It should be exciting because, TCG logic. And after all, he was piloting his unique take on a Ruby Sapphire deck. But unfortunately, all of the attention was not focused on him and his accomplishments, but rather on who would become his opponent, Clement Reclame Fusade. Fusade was an accomplished player with several victories on his Day 2 finishes, and recently he has been scrutinized for challenging a play made during his quarterfinal match by another Australian player, Jesse Lentini. Probably butchering a bunch of these names, but I'm be real here. It's whatever. Just know that we're getting to the fun stuff. Oh, so the situation unfolded during Game 3 of Fusade and Lentini's best of 3 match. Scores tied 1-1, so the sweat was kicking in. During Lentini's turn, he quested with Magic Broom, Luminary Keeper, and then would play Merlin Goat, which reads, of course, that when you play this character, you gain 1 lore. And the broom reads that whenever you play a character, you may banish this character to draw a card. Instant synergy, +2. But, so you're thinking, okay, just send the magic broom to the discard pile and just do the +2 play. That everyone's doing, mind you. But nah, he got Ruled Shark. Ruled Shark. So of course, Fusade and a random judge, who clearly didn't know the ruling, ruled that Lentini's attempt to banish the magic broom after having played the goat, because the trigger isn't mandatory, Lentini missed the trigger and basically missed the timing, for the Yu-Gi-Oh players here. But funny as shit, right? The play was legal. Because the only trigger is that you played another character, and with that illegal rule sharking maneuver, good old Fusade was able to play good old Maui, who reads, whenever this character challenges another character, you may recall an action card from your discard to your hand, and whenever you play an action, you gain 1 lore. So it resulted in Maui Beatdown, with the loop of develop your brain for a bit alongside other red-blue shenanigans, beatdown and whatnot, and he ended up winning because of that rule sharking escapade. So the community is very heated.
No doubt.
So Raven, what you're telling me was that there was an incident where people were misunderstanding and futzing the rules in Australia.
Basically.
Huh. Makes sense for a former penal colony.
Wow.
They have to
Pretty sure Faust, if he was still here, would just be like, why?
For legal reasons, this is a joke.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, was that everything?
Yeah, like I said, it would be very quick. All we had is new card type updates, as well as the product showcase, and well, the drama. Make it really juicy this month.
All right. Well, then next on the list would be the Digimon segment. Ori, what do you got for us?
Okay, then not much. I mean, we've had several reveals for BT 20 rather, which is over the X, as well as it being out in Japan right now. And later this month will be the release of the Special Booster 2.5, which is a joint release of the second half of BT19, as well as the full release of BT20. I'm mainly looking forward to this Special Booster for one thing: the Royal Knight support. So for those who aren't aware, I play the Royal Knight Yggdrasil deck, and thanks to the Digimon Liberator series, we now have direct support in the form of Cool Boy and a new Omnimon X, who is now confirmed to be French.
Yeah. Although I will say, like a few corrections. Over the X actually released just last week in Japan. And Special Booster 2.5 is actually going to be releasing at the end of this month.
Yep, thanks.
I have something to say that's a little bit unrelated.
Mhm.
Hulu has taken out all its Digimon related stuff on it.
Oh.
Right.
That's actually kind of related, but thank you.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah. So it's gonna be harder to watch classic Digimon, but I'm just letting you guys know.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Piracy exists, my friend.
True, yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure if there's... I mean, we all know about...
When you say that, I'm just going yo ho ho yo ho ho yo ho
Meanwhile, there's just me who's thinking you are a pirate from Lazy Town.
Do what you want, cause a pirate is free.
You
I was
pirate.
actually thinking of both of them. I was actually thinking of both of them.
Who says we can't think of both at the same time?
Exactly.
Same brain, folks, same brain. Anyway, I think we already know about BT21 booster convergence. I think that was
and along with the new keyword introduced, which is link, which once again we've already known about.
Yeah, okay.
For like the past month.
But we do have a few bit of news. We have the announcement of, I think, 3 new sets. First is Extra Booster Set versus Monsters. No idea of what that's going to be based around. But I assume it'll probably be the debut of Belphemon X, given that, you know, the previous expansion set had Barbamon X, aka Garbage.
Ooh.
How does the Demon Lord of Greed get the short end of the stick?
Because Bandai hates him. You should know that by now. But the set that I'm looking forward to the most that's been announced is BT22 Cyber Eden, which is confirmed to be a Digimon Cyber Sleuth set, and I frickin' love Cyber Sleuth. But what makes me happy most, because that's gonna confirm for Diabormon support, and you know me, Diabormon stan.
Me personally, I cannot wait to finally get a Kyoko card.
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
Knowing Bandai, that will probably be the waifu tax card of a super rare.
Oh god, I sure hope not.
In before they secret.
Though I will say, I do hope that she has an inheritable, and an effect that has her evolve into Alphamon.
That would make sense lore-wise. Same with if they include Rei Kashibe to evolve into Lord Nightmon.
Ooh, imagine!
I think the final booster that has been announced as confirmed is Extra Booster 10 Sinister Order. I think the only thing confirmed out of that is that we're getting a new Blackhawk Raymon. And aside from that, there's not much for me to be said, but thank you also for the post of the EX9 teaser ROM. But I think, not much else for me to say about the card game itself. The only other, thing of quote-unquote worth is that I've recently started a Digimon movie marathon in my server. And...
Though I will say, within the past month, we actually had 2 new chapters of the Digimon Liberator webcomic. Episode 10, parts 1 and 2. Ooh, boy.
Oh shoot.
Oh boy.
I want to say something about it, but it is a spoiler, so I'm just gonna shut up.
Fair enough.
I've not caught up on the series. I'm in all honesty.
Yeah. Although, from another server I'm in, there has been some recent droppings over in Asia. Majority of which is dominated by purple-red Imperial Dramon virus.
Oh yeah, Imperial Virus is back. Is finally doing numbers from what I've heard.
Yes. So within the beginning of the month period, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 toppings.
Wow.
Majority of which being in Japan.
That's amazing. I wonder how well that will translate over here in English. Will
Yeah. In terms of like.
Same level.
Yeah. In terms of like. Yeah. In terms of like other toppings, there is Royal Knights, Galaxy. Hit the deck already.
Mainly Mirage. Mainly Mirage.
No. Hold on. This one isn't with Mirage. This one is with Hexablow.
Oh shoot.
Yeah. Takemi Kazuchi.
Not
Omni Ace. For some reason.
Dukemon X.
No, Omni Ace.
Oh, Omega. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. The Jogress Omega Turbo.
Yeah. And Dukemon X twice, as well as like a few purple hybrid tops.
Purple Hybrid does not surprise me in all honesty. The only question is how well the success of the BT20 decks will be in English.
Yeah. Though holy Christ. The purple red Imperial Dramon.
Oh boy, it's gonna be nasty.
Yeah, although actually speaking of which, there is a moment where like there is a moment in the webcomic where like made me think of another one specific Yu-Gi-Oh anime series. I won't say what. That's the only hint you're getting, and it's not gonna narrow things down.
Okay, what's the reference?
I'm not saying it.
Then how do we know you're thinking of a Yu-Gi-Oh series?
It's Reigns, isn't it?
Huh?
It's Reigns, isn't it?
No.
Damn.
Again, I won't say the reference, mostly due to spoilers, but that's all I'm gonna say.
It's a Digimon reference.
No, a Yu-Gi-Oh reference within the Digimon comic.
If you know, you know.
Yes.
The game.
I'm not gonna say it, and I'm gonna end it there.
Digimon on motorcycles.
No.
I think that's it.
All right, then let's go ahead and move into the next topic. Next up would be Pokemon, but as far as I'm aware, there's not anything worth mentioning in Pokemon.
There is the new set in TCG Pocket.
Well, hang on. Lone, what were you gonna say?
I was saying Power was getting a Terraria crossover around Terraria's final update.
Oh, that's cool. And you said Pokemon Pocket TCG was getting some kind of an update?
Yeah, we just got a new pack update.
Oh, that's cool.
FaceTime Showdown with Yoga and Palkia.
Yeah, and also the trading system.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
The trading system.
The trading system fucking sucks.
I've heard about that. They're apparently taking comments and criticisms under recommendation, quote unquote, like every other company in the world. All right.
So anyway, here's a bridge. I have an amazing offer to sell you. It's like dirt cheap.
I'm sure it is. All right, so if that's all the Raven had to take off. All right, well, next topic on the list would be Cardfight Vanguard news. Anything new to report?
Yes, I do. Because we got, I don't have to tell you about the new Eugene, but we did get a new Griffogilia.
It's a more purified version. Though before we get into...
purified...
Hold on. Before we get into the set proper, I will say, I think it was last week. A lot of things released last week, now that I think about it. The new set for Vanguard released in Japan, which I already forgot the name.
I'm also gonna drop on out too, so enjoy the rest of the podcast.
All right, well, thanks for stopping in, man.
Okay, so the set is called Moon Fangs and Cerulean Blaze.
Okay, there's also a new set for Gilia. Also, Lock is back. Hide your kids.
Wonderful.
Don't worry. This one isn't as good. Though,
I'd still say at least hide your favorite child.
Is that a YouTuber?
Fair
or
enough.
what?
It's a reference to an old meme. Don't worry about it.
yeah. Though, there is one specific deck that I want to talk about.
All right.
Okay, so there is one deck that got me into this game. Well, two in technicality, but one doesn't exist in this format. The other is a little boss unit known as Bob Sagra. And she's the reason why I got into the game. I like her playstyle. Just being able to retire your opponent's front row units, like gain a crit, hit stupid hard, like makes my Unga Bunga brain go burp. Though
Reborn, we're getting a lot of feedback from you. Are you okay?
Yeah, sorry. Music in the background. Family roommate turned on the TV.
That's fine. Maybe you can turn on push to talk. That might help.
Okay, as I was saying, throughout the years, time has not been kind to her. Like, she got power creeped into oblivion to the point where like other decks can do what she can do, but better.
So in other words, Cyber Angels and dueling.
Pretty much. But then the release of this set happened, and with it came a whole new line of support. And oh my god, this line of support is amazing. So we got a new grade 1, which could search both of her weapons. If you went second, if you went first, you get like either or. So thank God for that. We have a new grade 2, where if it's rolled upon, send 2 different weapons from your deck to the drop, aka the grave. Then you can equip a weapon from your drop into the new buff Sagra in question. And speaking of the new buff Sagra, oh boy, that's a lot of text on her. So she's trained as the old buff Sagra. She can equip a weapon from your drop once per turn. And if you equip said weapon, you get a call a grade 1 or less unit from your drop into your rearguard circle. And if you just so happen to choose the Veil Lord with this effect, then you can also overdress into it. I never thought I'd see the day where we would overdress by an effect, but here we are.
It's power creep.
What can you do?
Yeah. And in terms of some rearguard support, we finally have a double attacker for the deck. Thank God. Not only does it double attack, but you can discard a weapon to draw 2 cards. So hand advantage as well. And overall, I am just very much happy with how she's been treated this time around. Because like this deck has a special place in my heart. And the fact that it got new support at all makes me a happy man. In terms of anything outside of the TCG, there's the release of Dear Days 2. There's also a new episode that's actually currently airing. Well, premiering rather, but details. Actually, no, never mind, it just finished. Other than that, I got nothing.
All right. Well, then, if that's the case, then we can move into the next topic, I suppose, which would be Weiss Schwarz. Now, I'll be honest, I had a lot of stuff to talk about for this one, but I'm going to probably have to skip a lot of it for the sake of time. So let's see here. The Bushiroad Championship Series for this year has already started, as I mentioned before, and has been going on since December, and they've had about a dozen tournaments over the last month or two. I didn't actually mention them last month, I don't believe, but the short end of it is the majority of the decks were playing That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime's Murin stuff, as well as 7 Deadly Sins cards, specifically the Hendrickson build. And as a result of this, they've instituted a brand new ban list that went into effect on Monday. So the changes are as thus. Reincarnated as a Slime put a restriction on 3 cards instead of 2. The newest card added in is a Rome and Murin card, which was specifically designed to search the Murin card that was already restricted. So their best card just lost their searcher. In addition, 7 Deadly Sins had a new restriction on it. In addition to the Escanor and Gilthunder cards that were already there, they've also added a Diane and a Dreyfus card that can no longer be run in the same deck. And as a result of this, they have basically nerfed the ability to push for game-ending damage toward the end of the game with this deck. And finally, they put a brand new restriction on Overlord, or as it's called in this game, Nazarick, where they put a restriction on an Ainz, a Shaltir, and a Yuri card. The long and short of it is that running all 3 of them gave you a lot of protection and a lot of draw and filter advantage, and they wanted to make sure that since they hit these 2 decks that were already the better ones, that the Nazarick deck wouldn't be the next best thing. It was a preemptive ban.
So they basically got choice restricted.
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
They got the Luard business handed to them.
Choice restriction is an alternative to banning cards right out, and it basically says that on a choice restriction, card A, B, and C cannot be run in the same deck. You can only run one of these 3 in a deck.
Oh, okay.
Weiss Schwarz has been doing this for some time. Huh? Oh, we just lost someone else.
Yeah, he needed to go to the bathroom, I believe.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. Actually, it looks like we lost... we lost Connor. Alright, and the other topic to bring up when it comes to Weiss Schwarz is a product that's been announced as of a month ago, I believe it was, and I completely forgot to mention it until now, but since Valentine's Day is next week, I feel like now is a good time to mention it. Weiss Schwarz is creating a new sub-variety of the same game. Just like how they created Weiss Schwarz Blau, which was a simpler version of the game, they are now creating Weiss Schwarz Rose, which is a more adult version of the game.
Yeah, we already talked about this.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think I brought it up last show. So, the short of it is, as far as we're aware, the game will play in Weiss Schwarz Rose exactly the same way as the regular game. However, the interesting aspect is the titles that they're going to be including in this new subsection of the game. And they're going to be giving them some unique mechanics from what we understand as well, but that's still up in the air right now. The titles are what have my attention, because they are definitely more set for adult audiences. The 4 they've announced so far are Yuzu Soft, I Admire Magical Girls and Harukaze, and my personal interest, Ishizoku Reviewers. As in the anime where they boink, prostitute, animal people.
What's it called?
Interspecies Reviewers is the English translation.
Hold up. Did they just say interspecies reviewers?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, they put one of my favorite anime into Weiss Schwarz.
A specific new variant of it, but yes. And we don't know if it's going to come to America, but if it does, I think that might
I'm
actually
picking that shit.
Yeah, same.
It's gonna be awkward in the card section if it does.
Yeah. I'll probably have to create a whole different subsection of it in an SFW area or something. I don't know. But
I was about to say, I sure hope that it has nothing to do with the actual game. Because imagine just an innocent soul just like seeing those types of cards.
Dude, don't even get me started on that. All right, so the last thing to bring up, since I basically speed ran this section, is the new stuff that just dropped. They released a new Quintessential Quintuplets Specials booster, as well as the Pixar series of cards, but the Pixar cards are restricted to only being usable in the Asia and Oceania areas. So, who cares?
What is it with Bushiroad using Quintessential for their card games?
You got me. And yes, they did also announce Disney Mirrorverse as a series coming to the American side, but if I had to take a guess, it's probably also going to be restricted to Asia, Oceania as well, so I was honestly debating not even bringing it up. But now, we can finally dive into the Yu-Gi-Oh!
Hey!
Alright, so first off, some basic Yu-Gi-Oh! News. We now know when and where the 2025 Worlds is going to be, on August 30th and 31st, and in Paris, France.
Oh, cool. This time, surely not in a black box without audience.
Let's hope. Second, we all know that Simo, one of the most popular Yu-Gi tubers ever, has been dealing with some health issues, but we can finally announce that he has cured his ulcerative colitis after 15 years.
Yippee!
Good for him.
Again.
Welcome back, Connor.
Back.
Talk about Mystic Mind, Connor. How do you...
Computer froze.
Well, we're glad you made it back, because we just got into the Yu-Gi-Oh! Segment.
Yay.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and breeze through this Master Duel stuff. They just updated us to version 2.2.1, which has a ton of aesthetic updates and upgrades. Cards that can now attack and activate their effects during the battle phase will glow blue and yellow at the same time to differentiate your options.
Now with these additions, right? People are now asking, about effects when they negate, right? Because apparently that's I don't know, a symbol like a cross-out symbol would work.
Maybe. Let's see. Show Duel info now displays the battle phase steps, which every player kind of needs. Card lists, when selecting cards during a game, now displays the card statuses that you're being affected by.
Yes, it shows the lingering effects now.
Yep. Deck edit filter now sorts by the link arrows, pendulum scale, and attack and defense ranges, instead of just specifics, which is cool. You can assign a different mate for every deck you own, rather than just having one for your entire profile.
Customizability.
You can now set accessories and structures contents immediately into your open slots right after you buy them. They updated the solo mode menus so that your stories and training and challenges are now on separate options instead of being required to be in the same line. You can now have your home screen auto-rotate between 5 different wallpapers. You can now select to follow any opponent you just faced. You now have a list of cards that are affecting your turn actions during games, which is directly connected to what I was mentioning before. And solo modes will no longer have unlock conditions, barring a few rare exceptions. Yeah, so for the most part, pretty decent stuff. They also introduced a new ban list that went into effect yesterday. They banned Secret Village of the Spellcasters and Summon Limit.
That's good.
They limited Anti-Spell Fragrance.
That's good.
They semi-limited Max C, Nightmare Throne, and Sangen Kaiman.
Even better. Another step forward.
And they unlimited Aluber Jester of Despia, Bestial Saranir, Cyberjar, D-Hero Celestial, Morphing Jar, and Branded Opening.
Okay.
Yeah, those are alright.
Yeah, so decent ban list, all things considered.
Yeah. My homie Celestial did not deserve to be locked up.
He paid for the crimes of DP.
They introduced a new solo mode for Sky Striker.
Oh, I saw that with the new animations.
Yeah, the animation looked amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, it did. Let's see. The new Duel Pass has officially begun, and the only prize really worth mentioning is the Crystal Beast Ruby Carbuncle mate.
Oh, okay.
Also, they gave us Jinzo as a mate that we can buy.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is.
If they make a D hero mate, I'll contemplate getting Master Duel.
Fair enough. They've got a new mutual follower campaign for rookies and returners. Basically, you share a campaign code, and both players get free Albaz lore cards and gems based on how many redemptions, and if those players ascend the ranks after they use them. They've got a new theme chronicle for decks specifically found in solo modes, which has Rika, Lightsworn, and Mech Knight loner decks. Let's see. New structure deck, Heroes Union, which appears to be Elemental Hero and Vision Hero focused.
That has Ferris, Increase, and Stratos. We're golden.
Let's see. New selection pack, which called the Forbidden Liberated, which includes Fiendsmith, White Forest, Azamina, and Snake Eyes cards, but they made sure to include Engraver as an automatic 2 of only. So that's something.
Is somebody limited at the get-go?
Yep, it's limited to 2 right out the gate.
Not bad.
It's not bad. New selection pack, Duel Experts, which is just, oops, all staples and hand traps.
God damn it.
Show title, though.
That actually that unironically might actually be the show title.
And I'll be sure to put it in all caps.
Oh, that'll be funny.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Secret pack, Sacred Imperial Tomb, which has Horus and Ogdoadic cards. Secret pack, Sinful Serpent Stare, which has Snake Eyes and Evil cards. And
odd combination. A weird combination right there.
They're both Egyptian theme. It kind of makes sense.
I guess.
I am so tempted not to make a Kamen Rider joke when I heard Evil.
Don't worry about it. And Secret Pack Sky Striker Awakening, of course, because of the solo mode, which is just Sky Striker cards.
Oh my god, I love Sky Striker Ray.
Alright, so, you said you wanted to talk about speed and rush stuff?
No, just rush.
Oh, my mistake. Go ahead.
Okay, so, in terms of, like, some existing support, we got some new Void Veil cards, which I'm pretty sure I already talked about Gehenna Machia last week. It depends on when we... I know it's, like, the reveal. I just forget, like, when we had the podcast. I think it might have been on the 10th?
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, our last podcast was on the 10th. Yeah, January 10th.
Oh, okay. Then I never talked about, like, the actual... It's revealed. Effects and all. But before that, we have a new legend spell, which is Tail Swipe.
Oh. The dino spell?
Yeah. The dinosaur one.
I was gonna say,
why?
That sounded familiar.
Yeah. Why? Who knows? Also, the legend cards are usually like existing TCG, OCG cards.
Ah.
So for Gehenna Machia, during the main phase set, it's fusion summoned specifically. So even after you use this effect, you can't like bring it back and then use the effect again. Thank God. You discard 2 cards. Then choose up to 2 face-down cards on your opponent's field and bounce them. If you send 2 normal spells to the graveyard for this requirement, neither player can activate normal spells until the end of the opponent's turn. Which, funny enough, the one time it was summoned in the anime did not matter.
Go figure.
Kisaozi, like, say what now?
Yeah,
you do what?
The one time that Gehenna Machia, the effects didn't matter because Contact Fusion debuted in the same episode.
Of course it did.
Oh, yeah, because... oh, they have another Contact Fusion.
Yeah. Though, speaking of new Void Veil port, Void Ogre got their own exclusive fusion that isn't connected with dark matter.
Wonderful.
Void Ogre, Forbidden Requiem, and also a few other support, which I actually almost forgot about. So first up, we have Void Ogre Universe Stella. Shuffle 3 Dark Galaxies from your grave to the from your grave into the deck. First off, it's a level 1 Dark Galaxy with 100 attack and defense. Then send this card on the field to the grave to pop a back row your opponent controls. If you do, you add 1 Universal Storm, the Galaxy MST, from your grave to your hand, which is neat.
Sounds like it.
Next up, Void Developer, Hit? I don't know. During the turn this card was normal summoned. If you control another face-up galaxy, change this attack position card to face-up defense. Then it gains 1300 defense until the end of the opponent's next turn. Funny enough, this is a Dark Galaxy with 1300 defense, meaning indirect dark matter support, which is funny. Will it see play there? Probably not, but it does exist. Next we move on to Void Velg Forbidden Requiem, the main man himself. Requires Requiem and Pale Rider, and you can summon this card by Contact Fusion. The requirement? Just mill the top 3 of your cards of your deck. This card gains 900 attack until the end of the turn. Then you can choose cards on your opponent's field up to the number of Dark Galaxy monsters with 1600 or more attacks sent to the graveyard for the requirement, and destroy them. Neat. Next is Void Dust Fusion. The requirement? Shuffle 1 Dark Galaxy normal monster from your grave into the deck. The effect? Fusion summon a level 9 Dark Galaxy 2000 or more defense by shuffling 2 Dark Galaxy monsters from your grave into the deck. But for the rest of this turn, monsters cannot attack except to the monster you special summoned with this effect. It's Miracle Fusion.
Fair enough.
But
Lastly,
it
we have
shuffles, so
better
does Miracle Fusion?
Miracle Fusion itself also shuffles. So I'm still saying it's
Miracle Fusion also shuffles in Rush. Okay.
Lastly, we have the trap card, Requiem Strike Back. If your life points are at least 2,500 less than your opponent when they declare an attack towards your Void Velg or Requiem specifically, why? I don't know. Negate that attack, then Magic Cylinder.
Yeah.
So it's Magic Cylinder with except you need to be 2,500 life points lower than your opponent at least. And they also need to declare an attack on Requiem specifically. It's alright. Next, I will skim over this real quick. Sentinel Officer, a new card for Chaos Galaxy, where you can fusion summon a level 9 Galaxy, I think. A level 9 Light Galaxy using light and dark monsters from your hand or field, as long as your graveyard is nothing but Galaxy. And there was one. Oh yeah, Chaos Sentinel, which requires one monster with 1500 or more attack, and one monster with 1500 or less attack, with the effect where you can only summon it with Sentinel Officer or Galaxy Chaos Fusion, and it protects your back row from being spun, spin back into the deck. Other cards that stick out is a new gadget, Magnet Warrior. There's also a new Harpy Lady Contact Fusion, which is not required, but it is stupid good.
I mean, I have tested out Rush Harpies with a new support and have bullied multiple people with it.
I would know. I was one of them. Other than that, there's also Chimera Tech Overdragon in Rush. So that's neat. Along with a new Miracle Fusion-esque spell, if I can find it. Cyber Rush Fusion, where if you control a monster, fusion summon any monster that mentions Cyber Dragon by shuffling up to 5 light machines from your field and/or grave into the deck. And if you have any monsters on the field, destroy them. And also, Hysteric Party. Not a continuous trap, but a normal trap. And honestly, for the better. When your opponent draws, or when your monster is destroyed by an attack, you can special summon up to 3 Heartbeat Lady Sisters, 4 Winged Beast Fusion monsters in total, and special summon them. Oh my god, this card is so good.
Yeah, this is way more cracked than it should be.
It really is. I would know. I faced off against it from 2 other people. Wait, shut up, you and your smirk. I'm kidding, I'm sorry.
All right.
I mean, I did face off against a player, someone who was playing Delirium. I think they deserved what they got.
Fair enough. Other than that, that's all I care about to mention.
All right, well, we are running a bit farther behind than I was hoping, so we're going to have to speed through the Yu-Gi-Oh! News. First off, we finally got the full release of the Supreme Darkness pack, which we now know that Mitsurugi is basically reduced to an engine status. Thanks, Ryziel.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, it wasn't enough to make his own deck get away.
We also got confirmation on the 3 archetypes coming out in the Justice Hunters deck build pack, which releases in March 22nd in the OCG. First off is Dragon Tail, which appears to be Dragon Fusions, and that artwork looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got Yummy, which appears to be Light Beast Synchros, and they're very poofy, fluffy alien in design.
I'm most excited for that one.
And we got K9, which appears to be an Xyz deck, which is probably going to be the combination furry and waifu bait.
Yep, extremely.
I think it's definitely going to be waifu bait.
At least this one card is. We don't know if the rest of the deck is.
It's waifu and furry bait in once.
It might just be the one, just like Trident was, but we'll find out when they release more information.
Yeah. If it ends up to that, I will do one of the most blasphemous things ever. I will play a control deck in my boxes. Like,
let's see how many people are playing.
You could name a meta deck. I will learn how to play it.
Fair enough. So we also got some more information about Alliance Insight. They finally released all the remaining cards we were waiting on. It comes out in the OCG on January 25th, which means we'll probably see it around April. They've announced that we're getting more support for the previous deck build pack sets, which was Ryuga, Malice, and Ryziel. They're each getting 2 cards apiece. We also got a new spell called Chaotic Elements, which is a card that can search a light or dark, fire, or pyro, or aqua.
Man, they really gave up trying to support Testina and Ashen. They gave them a custom card.
They really did, and you know what? I'm fine with it. Then there's the new HANDTRAPS, Psalms of Kings, which is a brand new type of impermanence that doesn't target, and it searches Dominus cards after you use it if you have a trap in your grave, but you can only activate it from hand if you have no monsters in grave, and you can't use monster effects from your hand, graveyard, or banish pile until the end of your next turn, I believe it is.
As one Mr. Johnson from Abbott Elementary would proclaim, it's trash.
Oh, maybe, but I'm planning on putting it in Spirits.
It's good in Phantasmal.
It's definitely about as good. The locks are hard, but Spirits don't care about that, so it might be one of the few decks that can actually make it work. Let's see. There's also the new Dark Magician Girl, the Magician's Apprentice, which is a Shining Sarcophagus support and Searcher.
Yep, they definitely need the search.
Yeah. There's Brain Controller, which is a new psychic monster that searches the spell card Brain Control, which I think is hilarious.
Snap back to reality.
Oh, there goes Gravity.
About Gravity.
A card called Bomber Place, which destroys monsters based on certain level, rank, or link ratings.
Yeah, that shit's weird.
Yeah, they're probably gonna change that name though.
Yeah.
What retrain is it?
Card.
It doesn't seem to be a retrain. It's just a new card.
Okay.
Let's see. Do It Early, Do It Together, which is a spell card that banishes cards from the top of the deck face down, either yours or your opponent's, based on certain circumstances.
I rate this spell a meme out of 10.
Yeah, what else is new?
These cards are memes.
We got a new spell card called 7-Star Sky Style at Bato Jutsu Hajun, which equips 7-star monsters from your deck.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. People call this a interesting tech card. Is that wrong? It's kind of interesting.
It's Dragon Ruler support. Who cares?
Either way.
And the last card they announced is Abduction, which steals monsters your opponent controls by banishing one from your main or extra deck with the same stats, being their attribute, type, and something else. But if you ended up banishing the same card that your opponent has that you're trying to steal, the card you get has its effects negated.
Mirror match.
Why, yes, Rajov. Aren't you interested in this card that is especially spicy in mirror matches?
Ironically, that card can also work if you're not facing versus a mirror match, because there's so many monsters that have the same everything.
It really could. Let's see. And the TCG confirmed that this will be the last set in America with quarter-century secret rares when it gets imported.
I just want the Bonanza to hit America so I can finally have my Raging Phoenix.
I wanted to hit America so I can finally see what that new Odeon-themed trap monster support's gonna have.
Yeah.
Also, my Earthbound Immortal is in Maze of the Masters.
Cool. Let's see. They also announced a new product called the Valuable Book E5, which comes out in the OCG on March 21st, and has 2 new cards so far, one of which is called Soul of Gaia the Fierce Knight, which is Millennium support and offers negation.
Huh.
And Weiss Shark, which gives Shark Drake spell trap negation by using it as a material. It's a brand new starter piece.
Also, that guy, the new Gaia card, right? It's a funny card because it passively increases your opponent's monsters by 7. So it fucks over synchro and exceeds decks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, there is a friend of very happy with this, if he wasn't already.
Then there's the new Tactical Tri-Decks, which come out on May 24th in the OCG, and we finally got confirmation that they're going to be about Rescue Ace and Exo Sister.
Fuck it, finally, Rescue Ace support, they need it. They're missing a couple more spell traps.
Let's get racist.
Yes.
Show title.
Let's get racist.
All right, and the last thing to mention, and there's very little information about this one, is that the OCG Structures promo card of Saiba the Fighting Swordsmith, which is just Warrior Synchro support. It's a non-tuner Synchro monster that synchros on the opponent's turn. Woo.
Doesn't that card also bring back a Warrior monster from Grave too?
It's like IP, but worse.
Technically. It kind of just depends. And we made it through all of that without being too far behind. I am so glad we condensed that.
But yeah. Now it's time for me to post a meme in the chat.
Go right ahead, man. In the meantime, though, does anyone else have anything they want to talk about real quick before we call it a night?
Actually, I'm sorry for rushing a bit, but I got a tabletop thing in a few.
Oh, that's fine, man. We'll see you in the next one then.
All right, andiamo.
I had something, but my mind is now blank.
Well, that's fine. If you remember it, just be sure to drop it in the chat or blurt it out before we call it a show.
All right. I want to talk another little bit about wrestling. Sorry, Zivif. More specifically, a botch that ended up happening at the Men's Royal Rumble.
Okay.
So, if you ask WWE, the newly signed Penta lasted in the match for around 42 minutes. If you watch anybody with eyes, you see that Penta ended up having both feet touch the floor a minute and 30 seconds in. And the funniest thing is that it wasn't intentional.
Uh-huh. Was there a stipulation that said they couldn't do that?
Yeah, in the Royal Rumble, if you're over the top rope and both feet touch the floor, you're out. And that's what happened.
I wasn't aware.
But they had to fix it because it wasn't meant to happen. So they just said, only one foot touched the floor. So, he's still in the match.
Well, hopefully they'll...
Both feet touched the floor with Penta at the beginning. It was a botch.
Yeah.
There is one thing I wanted to say real quick.
Sure, what's up?
Boom Boonger, in terms of Japanese time, is gonna be ending literally tomorrow.
I'll be sure to grab that last episode and upload it as quick as I can, man. And then the week after, we get the brand new Sentai, number 1 Sentai. God, what was that name again? Go Ryuger?
Go Juger.
And for the first time, we have a Red Ranger that is a wolf.
Yeah.
A what?
Yeah, the Red Ranger. Not like he's a wolf man, because that's already been done. You can just ask Q Ranger. But the Red Ranger is a Wolf Ranger.
Huh.
Yeah, and
we also have...
he's apparently a wild child because he likes to howl.
Yeah, and we also have stuff like a unicorn, a lion, a T-Rex. What's the green one again?
A bird of some kind?
I can't wait to see those in the gacha game.
Yeah, you're telling me. And then let's not forget what the people themselves are. Apparently, the Red Ranger in this one is a guy who fucked up so badly the entire world hates him.
Average YouTuber?
Pretty much. The yellow is a monk, I think it is.
Yeah, seems like it.
The Black Ranger's a girl this time, and I think she's some kind of private detective?
You are.
If Taya is any indication, anything at this point.
Black Ranger is supposed to be black.
Also, it looks like Lady Sarissa just rated our podcast with 5 people. Thank you for that, by the way. That's awesome. I didn't even notice until now. I was so busy talking about this. And the sad part is, we are actually about to end the show in like 5 minutes, unless anyone else has anything to talk about.
I know.
That's fine.
Yeah, I was about to say I got nothing.
I know a YouTuber.
I got a movie to watch tomorrow, so I gotta get up earlier.
Yeah, that's fair. And I have to get ready for work tonight, so I guess we'll go ahead and call it. Now, I should go ahead and tentatively state, given the circumstances going on with my job right now, I don't know if the next podcast is going to be at the same time it normally is. I'm thinking it will, but if anything changes, I will be sure to let the members of the server know in advance.
Hey, at least you might get a good job with fair payment.
Yeah, hopefully. And this new job that I'm aiming for is going to be a lot better paying, and it's going to have an actual set schedule that doesn't basically put murder on my circadian rhythm. And if I do get it and it ends up working out, I have a lot of plans for this podcast. I've been holding back on a few fun little options that I'm going to be adding into the Twitch side of things. I've got animations and interactions planned for people who come to the cast and actually join in. Like, whenever a person comes to the podcast for the first time and joins the chat, they'll be considered normal summoned. If they come back later, they become special summoned. If they throw bits at us, which has never happened, but if it does, they'll be throwing star chips instead. I have a lot of plans. And if anybody uses a text-to-speech comment, basically I'm going to have an image of my wife, Alice, in her little shiny Riolu form appear and read it out, either in a thought bubble or with some kind of an automated voice. I've got a lot planned.
Why not both?
That sounds fun. That sounds fun.
I'd like
So
to think it is.
You're gonna introduce some bits.
Yeah, why not? Why not use both? Use the speech bubble and
text-to-speech. I just might. It's all in the works, but it all depends on whether or not I can get a set schedule. And if I do that, I will try to make the show more consistent and possibly even more available to other members in the server, because I know running it on Friday afternoons has prevented a lot of people from being able to take part, especially Sarissa, where she streams around the same time that we do. So if we end up getting a different time frame, possibly a better one, then maybe we'll get a better result by the end of it.
Hopefully.
But I guess we'll go ahead and call it a night here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in to the show. We really appreciate you being here. As I said, the schedule might be tentative, but if everything stays the same, we usually record these shows on the first Friday of every month, which means the next one should be on March 7th.
Yay. Hopefully all goes well.
Yeah, hopefully. In the meantime, thank you again for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Adios.